Okay, number 15, I'm going to go to the whiteboard and try to think about it. All right, so 15, we're at the whiteboard, and it's time to think. And I'm going to write down what appears to be the nth term, so an. And just looking at it, it looks like the product of odd numbers, like 1, 3, 5, 7, and yada, 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 yada. And if I'm going to the nth term, what would you get? That would be 2n minus 1. You should verify that. The first term would stop, that's 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so it stops there. The second will be 1 times 3, because if it's 2, that would stop at 3, so forth and so on. What's the bottom looking like, though? Well, let's look at it. It looks like 3, 6, 9. So I'll write this over here. 3 times 6 times 9 times 12, yada, yada, yada. Question is, where does it stop? It looks like a multiple of 3, all right? And again, you should look at the bottoms, and it does look like multiple. First term is just a 3, second term is 3, and then a 6. That's the second term, because 6 is 3 times 2 is 6. Yeah, it looks good. And then the problem with this one over here is kind of looking at it. What I'm going to do is pairwise matching with these things. Right? Keep doing that until I get to the end, yada, yada, yada. The end would be what? 2n minus 1 over 3n. All right? So here comes the big question is, it's going to be compared to something. And this takes thinking. It really does. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going to say there's n factors here. By the way, what I mean by that, n fractions, but they're factors as far as I'm concerned. Then I'm kind of wondering, would there be an upper bound to that? Right, if there's n factors, would there be an upper bound? Like what number would be bigger than all those numbers? Well, let's take a look at it. I would say 2/3, but let's think about that. Well, 2/3 is definitely bigger than that number. 2/3 is bigger than 3/6, that's for sure. Right? What I mean by that, 3/6, 2/3 is bigger than that. Yeah, and you can keep going through that list, by the way. 5/9, 2/3 is definitely bigger than that. So forth and so on. I'm really concerned about the last guy, though. Let me write this down. 2n minus 1, 3n, 2/3. Is 2/3 bigger than that? Let's just look at that. It looks pretty obvious, but let's just look at it. 6n minus 3 less than 6n. And you get 0 greater than minus 3. And n's a positive number, so it certainly makes sense. All right? Certainly makes sense. All right? So I'm convinced of that. Now, someone said there's a lot of work to get there, but I don't know why I got there. Right now, I know I got a series that's bigger than this one. And what series is bigger than this one? This one. N equals 1 to infinity, 2/3 to the n. It's definitely bigger than the series that involves that term over there. Term-wise, it's much bigger. What do I know about this series? It's a convergent geometric series. It converges to a number. Therefore, this one converges to a number. So the conclusion, convergent. End of story. Thank you.